Hi guys, my name is TJ and welcome back to TJ Smiles. I have another book review for you guys because I read up a storm on the way to and from BookCon. You know, that's a long car drive. What else do you have to do but read? It's not like you got Wi-Fi in the car, right? Okay, so I actually got this book at BookCon for free, so that was great. And I just decided to read it on the way home because I thought, why not? And it's Jesse's Girl by Miranda Kenneally, something like that. And it follows the story of two main characters, Jesse and Maya. Now let me just say, they spell Maya in this book Maya, and that just threw me off. Because for those of you who don't know, my sister's name is Maya, and it's spelled Mya. It's spelled Mya, not Maya. So that just threw me off the whole time. I'm like, what is this? This is trickery. So that just bugged me. But, overall, I would give this a book a 4 out of 5 stars, only because I seen the ending coming from the beginning. I knew they would end up together. Okay, spoiler alert, they end up together, but I'm pretty sure everyone who picks up this book knew from the start that they'd get together. So like I said, this book follows the storyline of Maya and Jesse. And Maya is having a shadow day at school where everyone at her school has to say what occupation they want to go in the future. In order to graduate, they must successfully complete a 24, I don't even think it's 24 hours, just a day of shadowing in a job that the school system sets up for them. So everyone, if they want to be a chef, they end up working at a pizza place or a pretzel place in the mall. If you want to be a teacher, you go to the kindergarten and you help out, that kind of stuff. Well, Maya, she wants to be a musician of some sort. And the principal's nephew is Jesse, who ends up being, at the time, he's like the male version of Taylor Swift today. Like, the most well-known country pop singer for, like, young adults, youth, you know. He's basically the female version of Taylor Swift. And she is not too excited to meet him because she hates country music, but she has to go through with this because it's for a grade in order for her to graduate. And she figures, well, I'll end up learning something from this experience, so I might as well go and make the most out of it. So she goes and she meets Jesse. Well, the first night her and Jesse meet, they do not hit it off. She's in his dressing room waiting for him. He comes in late and he's yelling at security thinking another, fan snuck in somehow. And basically she's like, and when security comes in and explains why she's there, he's like, I don't do charity work. And she just ends up leaving because she's just not happy. She's like, you know what? This isn't worth it. I'm not wasting my Friday night at a country concert for a country musician when I don't even like country. And this dude's being a jerk to me. But it's for her grade, and his uncle, her principal, ends up working it out. So they do end up getting along enough to spend the day together. And the day starts off with the principal taking her to Jesse's mansion where he lives all by himself. Now, he is the same age as her, so this is like 17, 18-year-old Jesse living in this mansion by himself with a maid. So she goes in there, and his uncle, her principal, has to go back to the school, and his manager is supposed to go with the two for the day and, take them sightseeing around, different studios and, musical museums and all that kind of stuff, and, give her some pointers on how to sing and all that kind of stuff. Well, the manager ends up coming late, and Jesse's like, you know what, this is stupid. This is my day off, and I have to, show you around. We're going to do something worthwhile. So they hop on his Harley. I don't even know if it's a Harley. They hop on his motorcycle, and they go to the music studio where he hooks her up with his voice coach, and she ends up singing and, getting a real voice lesson from a voice teacher that she could never afford to get this lesson on her own. So as the day goes on, they end up just going crazy. They don't follow the schedule that was planned at all. The principal is calling Maya, and he's like, you need to get back on schedule now, or you're going to be, detention. It ain't good. Her parents are calling because the principal called her parents, and they're like, Maya, you're so grounded. Why are you out running around with this celebrity boy that we don't know? What is going on? Get back on schedule. This is your grade. This is a school assignment. Get back on schedule. Instead, they end up test driving a Ferrari and all kinds of crazy stuff. They play in a fountain, and the cops of the park start chasing them, and they're running from the cops, and the whole time paparazzi is following them and getting pictures of them together. And the next day at school, she shows up, and she's basically famous. Shy little Maya ends up being famous because she's all over these magazines seen with Jesse. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, are you dating? Are you dating? And she's like, no. Because that night when he dropped her off on the front porch, he kissed her goodbye. And it went well, but then they got into a little fight after that goodbye kiss, and she doesn't know where that left them because he did kiss her, and then they got mad at each other, but they had an amazing day together, and if they can't date, she wants to at least be his friend because he could really use a friend, and she could really use a friend right now. But so yeah, she's at school and everyone's like, are you dating Jesse? Are you dating Jesse? Oh my gosh, you spent the day with Jesse. Oh my gosh, did you get his autograph? Like all these things. And the whole time she's just like, let me be. I'm really upset about this. Like I really like this boy. And it's not going to work out. It was stupid of me to even kiss him back. This shouldn't have happened. Well, needless to say, the whole time they're not talking for like a week or two. Jesse misses her like crazy. And eventually he texts her and they start talking again. And they're basically talking. They're not dating, but they're not just friends. They're talking together. They're talking with each other. So that goes on for a while, and then Maya ends up going on what would be today's version of American Idol. So she makes it to the finalists, and then they get there, and Jesse ends up being a judge. So that, everyone's mad about that. They're like, this isn't fair, this is like favoritism. He can't judge her and have her go on when they're dating. So everyone's pretty mad about that. So the managers kind of like pull Jesse and Maya and like Maya's parent or Maya's family off to the side, and they're like, okay, are you guys dating? And Maya's like, no, we're not really dating. We were going to talk about it when he got back from tour. And Jesse straight up cuts her off, and he's like, Maya's my girlfriend. And she's like, oh my gosh, when did this happen? Oh, but I'm not going to complain because she was cool with it. So basically that happens, and they're like, okay, we're just going to go on with the show, and the managers would discuss this and find out what we should do with Maya because she can't perform in this season because her boyfriend is the judge. So they end up going, they finish off the day of the show, and then Maya and Jesse kind of go off for an evening out in the city. They're in New York. I believe they're in New York. I feel like they're in New York. I hope I'm not wrong. I'm like 99% sure they're in New York at this time. It's a big city of some sort. So they're just kind of strolling around New York, and they just kind of hang out for the evening, and then it comes back, and yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and let the story off there. It seems like a good place to leave the story off. There's a little bit more to the end, and I left off a lot of interesting points during the story. Like, there's a whole, like, sub-story within the story I just summarized. So, yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I would say there was mainly character development in Jesse. He went from being someone who couldn't trust, couldn't love, any of that, to, like, trusting and loving Maya with his whole heart, and that was so sweet to watch him develop into that. That was not even a huge character development either, so I wouldn't say too much character development in this book. The storyline was very, very, very predictable. Like, I seen the whole him judging the thing with her being there. I seen that plot line coming. I seen him and her ending up getting together after the Shadow Day. I seen that plot line coming. So it was very predictable. But it was a cute story, and I really enjoyed reading it, so that's why I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye!